I'm back here with Paul,
Hello, everybody.
and it's... You know what, actually, in total, it's been a shite weekend. It really has, hasn't it, Paul? For a number of reasons.
Certainly has.
I mean, I wouldn't care. Last week started off so great, because I don't even think Paul knows this. I don't think I mentioned it to you. Got a lovely email on the Monday morning. We'd like to offer your son a place in the junior school that you first picked. Great, fantastic, ideal. The week it was going from strength to strength. It was so much good was happening, and if that makes sense, yeah. Or so many good things were happening, and then, yeah. Paul, Saturday was good, wasn't it?
What happened?
I don't know. What did happen?
Just to remind people, what actually happened? I know Sunderland played, but
I don't know. I can't remember. Is that a good thing? Probably bloody is, actually. Yes, as we all know, Sunderland got relegated. I'll tell you what though, at first I thought we were actually the first team out of the football leagues to get relegated. Luckily, turns out we're not. Thank God. I couldn't be dealing with that further embarrassment. Obviously, before we get into it, because Paul, you were at the game, weren't you?
certainly yes.
Yes. I want to get one thing clear here, because I've been arguing with a lot of twits on Twitter, literally. How they've got such a big hard on that Darren Bent relegated Sunderland. No, Darren Bent didn't relegate Sunderland.
He didn't.
He equalised, yes, and it did help lead Burton to score in their second goal, but he did not single-handedly relegate Sunderland. So I think people need to get out of that narrow-mindedness. I mean, we knew the Championship was going to be tough. Me and Paul have spoken about it before, haven't we, Paul?
To be honest, on that though, I actually think we've actually relegated ourselves.
We have. There hasn't been enough effort from the players, but we all know, while it's all very well Ellis Short saying that he's a huge fan of the club, if you're a huge fan of the club, then why are you not investing money? That's ultimately, in my opinion, what's relegated us, is the fact that he hasn't invested money during the January transfer window. We've got a couple of loan players which proved out to be marginally better than the crap we already had. That's being quite generous.
Plus, if he was fans of the club, he would meet Chris Coleman.
Exactly. He spent the last 18 months, I don't know, eating hot dogs on a beach in Miami for all I know,
Because what got me, actually, I don't know if you've noticed, but the last time Ellis Short spoke out is when he actually sacked Simon Grayson.
Yeah, that was it.
He hasn't spoke the club since then.
And what can you do with that if you've got a chairman that doesn't give a stuff? You've got Martin Bain, who, I've got to say it. I don't think I've said it in the video yet, but I do genuinely feel sorry for Martin Bain. He's been left with literally a lose-lose situation. He's left to run the club. He's got to sell players to try and make money. At the same point, he can't really bring players in because Ellis Short's not giving him money. And he's getting a lot of flack from the fans. I mean, understandable as to why. But the fact is, he is the scapegoat for Ellis Short. And I do genuinely feel so sorry for him. They'll say,
actually,
rock in a hard place, that is some rock and that is some bloody hard place,
But I'm saying, it's like I said to you, the club doesn't even know what to do now. Fair enough, they need to start planning for next season, but they don't even know who is the owner. It's like Richard and Phil actually did a Facebook Live this morning about the Southern Echo. They don't even know who the new owner is, and a lot of people is saying to either keep Coleman or get rid of him. But for me, I would keep him. Coleman has said he actually does want to stay at the club, but of course it is down to Ellis Short. But for me, I would keep Coleman.
I would. I mean, he never got look at it. A lot of people saying he should be sacked, but Oh, by the way, guys, if you keep seeing me looking in that direction, that's because I'm looking at the computer screen as well. It's a bit of a weird setup the way I've got it. But you look at it, there's a lot of fans that have called for Chris Coleman to be sacked. But at the same point, I think people need to understand that, is it really his fault? Has he really been able to get the players in that maybe he wants? No, I don't think he has.
Well, the thing is, Coleman wasn't actually backed in a January transfer window.
Exactly. A couple of loan signings, that's it. And what can you do? If the ship's sinking and you're not going to repair it, there's only one way that ship's going to go. You know what I mean? It's just absolutely mental. And I'm going to change the subject quickly because there's another thing that is absolutely driving me insane. We're going to switch off quickly from football for 2 seconds.
Oh.
Sorry, I've just because I retweeted what the BBC put. I am absolutely sick to death of seeing crap to do with royal babies. Because the royal baby's apparently just been born today. Why do I care? Why do I want to know? And again, bringing it up because we spoke about this just before I start recording. To do with obviously little Alfie Alfie Mawson, I think his name is. You know, a kid that's technically going to be murdered, effectively. You know, and then you've got the BBC putting crap like that, royal baby born. And I don't care. There's a kid who could have some sort of treatment that is not going to get, and then you're giving us crap like that. Royal baby born, yeah. Well, what, do you want a street party? I'm not trying to turn this video. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to turn this video into a rant. I'm not. But it really does gripe on me. The whole royal wedding crap as well. I don't care. Send me an invite in the post. I'll put it in the bin. I won't go. I don't care.
You know, what's made me laugh on that though? Our Prime Minister, which is Theresa May, she hasn't even been invited. I'm like, eh?
Hey, if you do a shit job of trying to do something, then why should you get rewards? Simple. Actually,
I thought they would have actually been invited, but
I can add to that. Not a single MP has been invited.
my God.
So yeah, I suppose you've got to give the royal family some credit there. At least they haven't turned it into some sort of political statement, even though it's a taxpayer's money. But I'll take that with a pinch of salt. But yeah, so back to the football.
To be honest, actually, on that though, I'm pleased they're not actually. Well, for this year, I don't think they're actually streaming it either.
Oh God, I hope not.
On the television, so.
Actually, no, they can't because the BBC can't anyway. The contractual rights, isn't it? The FA Cup.
Yeah, because the FA Cup now, so.
Yeah, they have a legal obligation to actually fulfil that contract that they've signed for the FA Cup final. Wow, they really picked. I don't know. Did the Royals pick a shitty day for that, or is it just the case that the BBC? Actually, you know what? No, I'll take it. The BBC lucked out, really, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
That's a guarantee, because with the BBC, they'll probably show it on BBC Two, but come on, who watches BBC Two? There you go, that's my question of the video. Never mind if Sunderland will bounce back. Will the BBC show the royal wedding on BBC Two, or will they switch the FA Cup final to BBC Two? Comments below.
To be honest with you, I think with the wedding, I think they might show it on Sky News.
That wouldn't surprise. Well, Sky News would show crap anyway. Yeah,
but it's like, you know, like, well, with this baby that's just been born, Sky News is actually all over it. They actually are in London, reporting from the hospital. So, but what I like about it actually, 2 people from Sunderland, which I never thought would happen, they actually slept outside of the hospital to actually see her.
God's sake, man! People, get a life and get a job. This right before we go back to the football, I've got to read this out. Bear with me. It's because when I tweeted it was brilliant. Obviously, so I retweeted what the BBC put. It's a boy. Duchess of Cambridge gives birth to a baby boy. I put, who the fuck cares? Somebody actually replied, at Molly May, it's rather weird, me with question marks, you with question marks, everybody with question marks. And I put, now I'll pass. The reply I got, LOL, okay. I don't have time for the royal family. I really, I've got nothing against them. Don't get me wrong. They're sitting on the fucking thrones, but I've got nothing against them per se. But I just don't like the whole publicity thing. You know that they're not that special. They're ordinary people. Just because one of them wears a crown, I'll go buy an inflatable crown, call myself the king of bloody England. Does that? No, I'm not the king of England.
To be honest, I'm just happy for them because, well, I haven't actually told you before. I haven't told anybody actually.
Oh, you're a fan of the royal family, aren't you?
No, well, yes. The only reason I think you might like this actually, but when I was little, when my mum told us actually, I was somewhere in the pushchair, and round the corner from me, well, not far from me, I've got a church, and Princess Diana, actually when she was alive, she actually opened that church.
Oh wow!
And this is what you like actually. My mum said to the policeman, "Well, you know who's that?" And Princess Diana. But what got me when my mum told us, Diana actually parked a blacked out car beside me. She actually put down the window and actually waved.
Oh wow!
When I was little.
Oh, there you go. History 101. Right, so we've got sidetracked. We're going to have to get back on track with the football now, aren't we?
Back to League One.
Yeah, back to League One. I mean, do you think... Can you see Ellis Shaw selling the club?
I don't know.
Personally, I think if he hasn't found a buyer by the end of May, being the smart billionaire businessman that he is, he's going to have to really consider investing more money into the club. Because if he's not going to find a buyer in League One, he's going to have to do something to change the club to get them back up again. Don't get me wrong, it's not going to be easy. I think I can categorically say, I know for a fact, League One's not going to be easy. We will be the biggest club down there. That's a fact. Nobody can argue with that. And everybody, including Accrington Stanley, are going to want to scalp us, that's for sure. I can't believe I'm saying that. My garden shed. My garden shed. No. Honest to God, it's the funny thing is, Paul. I'll let Paul go through it first. Paul, when on Saturday when we were first confirmed relegated, what was your most raw emotion? Anger.
Well, to be honest, because Pete said to me yesterday, "How did you find out that we were relegated?" And I said, well, as soon as I left the stadium, because I left with the lads, I was saying to myself, well, that's it. I never thought we were down, relegated.
Yeah.
Until I came home, I actually watched the news, and what I liked about it, actually, they actually went straight to Sunderland for the sport news before anybody else.
Yeah.
And then it came up, Sunderland is relegated. I'm like, oh no. But what got me, you boys heard, because I think you were listening to BBC Newcastle, weren't you? Yeah. I actually thought, BBC Newcastle actually didn't know we were relegated at first.
No, they didn't.
Until they actually saying themselves that we were down.
Effectively, you know what? It isn't, in a way, it isn't really losing to Burton that has actually relegated us. It is part of it, but if we had drew that game, then there would have still been, granted, smaller than a piece of thread, but there still would have been a chance that we could have been, we wouldn't have been relegated, but we could have still battled for safety, because with Bolton having to play Burton. got if Bolton wins that game, then they're safe. That was what it would be. But but if Burton were to win it and we drew, that would only put Burton on 39 points, and Bolton would be on 40. So we'd still be in with a chance. But no, typical Sunderland, blow it out your arse.
What got me, lol, like I said to you, the actual players didn't speak to any of the media, but what I liked about it, actually, John O'Shea, which I've got to thank him for, actually, he did speak to the club.
Yes, I saw that on the club website. Yeah.
But O'Shea was the only one. I actually thought, well, Richard said, from the Echo, said actually they are hoping to speak to the players this week. They don't know if they are, but they are hoping to speak to, well, they don't know who they're going to speak to, but they are hoping to speak to a player this week.
That's the other thing as well that we've got to look at as well. We've still got 2 games left. You know what? I guarantee we won't pick up a single point because the players just won't care. They'll know that we need to offload them. We'll end up doing it on the cheap as well because we need rid of them desperately. And they're not going to care. We're going to, you know what? We'll get thumped by Fulham, and obviously when I go at the Wolves game, oh my God, I guarantee we'll get thrashed. Probably nearly to the point where it might even be double figures. But
yeah, I'm dreading that one.
But at the same point, now that it's confirmed, there is absolutely no reason whatsoever why Chris Coleman can't throw any of the youngsters on the pitch. They don't have to worry about being relegated. It's done. Not their fault.
To be honest, you mentioned that Phil Smith, Richard Manea actually asked Phil Smith this morning, what do you think Coleman will do for the next 2 games? And Phil Smith said that he thinks, well, he doesn't know, but he's hoping Coleman doesn't play any of the loan players at all, and bring in the players that's hoping, Coleman is hoping that they'll be here next season.
Exactly. That's what I'd do. I mean, you got the likes of Joel Azoro, Marja, Adam Matthews. I'd keep Adam Matthews because when we first signed him in the Premier League, he was rubbish. But you know what? He's probably been, if we can even say it, one of the best players we've had this season. I know we've been shocking, but I don't think you could probably argue with that, to be honest.
No. Matthews has been. I'm actually happy with Matthews. Actually, since Coleman's arrived, that Matthews has changed.
I know. I'm just trying to see how long we. All right, there's my timer. Seeing how long we're recording for. Got to go pick the kids up in just over an hour. It's going to be fun. So obviously, I'll leave the obvious question till last. But so players. What? How can I put it? If you could choose 5 players to keep, who would you keep?
I don't know, to be honest.
See, for me, McNair, Matthews.
It's going to be hard to keep McNair, though.
Oh, it will be hard, yes. Asoro, Marja, and Honeyman. Maybe Gooch, but he's...
To be honest, I've got a feeling I don't think Honeyman will stay. You know why?
Why?
The first thing is, right, if Nathan is listening to this, he was shocked when I revealed to him yesterday. I actually told Nathan yesterday who George Honeyman's agent is. He was completely shocked. Yeah, I think you will be as well, Craig.
Go on.
George Honeyman's agent
is
our
me.
ex-CEO of the club.
Margaret Byrne.
Yeah, the
one who completed, just so anyone that's watching this randomly and they don't know who Margaret Byrne is, the whole Adam Johnson fiasco, while it was Johnson's fault, the whole fiasco to do with around the club was down to her. Yeah, for sake. Well, that's all we need. So Honeyman's off then. Okay, so so we'll now create a list of 5 players that we'll get rid of. So I know he's.
But the thing is,
yeah.
Coleman doesn't even know well, with the out of contract players, we don't know who we're keeping. Coleman, I think, is going to tell them who is staying and who's not. But you know, a lot of them. For me, will John O'Shea stay? I think he will, but I don't think he'll be a player. I think he'll be a coaching.
Yeah.
I think he'll join Chris Coleman's coaching staff. To be honest.
Well, I hope so, because I mean, obviously, back in the day, O'Shea was a really good defender. I mean, he still has the odd good game even for us. Not that we.
O'Shea's a good one for the dressing room.
Hey, look, Paul. Is that your PlayStation 4 box? Behind you.
Yes, actually.
There you go, guys. PlayStation 4. So yeah, you know, I know he's on loan, but I'm going to pick 5 players as well that I want to lead the club, and those 5 players are, despite he's on loan, Lee Camp. I'd happily keep the rest of the drivel. I really would, just providing he cancel the loan now. Do something just to. Oh God, honestly.
Just think of this look big. Lee Camp could be a Premier League player next season.
Oh, don't even go down that road. Right, we're going to get a hashtag going. Hashtag bring back Mika. There you go.
Bring back Benoni.
Yeah, well, can't see him coming back to us now. Not that we're in League One, that's for sure. But it's yeah. You know the when it happened on Saturday, obviously my mood, I wasn't angry. I wasn't even disappointed that we'd been relegated. It was just more annoyance than anything else, because it felt like the players hadn't tried most of the season, pretty much all season. It was more through annoyance that they hadn't really bothered. It wasn't even heartbreaking, to tell the truth. And I'm always banging on to Paul about Sunderland day in, bloody day out.
he does.
Yeah, see, you know, and it was just that pure, it was raw annoyance that, you know, during a football game you can happily, if you concede a goal by giving the ball away, fair enough, but at least try get back into the game. We've had a couple of games where we have tried, you know, the last few games apart from the Burton one, and yeah, well, way too little, way too late, really, wasn't it, Paul?
Yeah, no. I'm just looking at the comment from Alan Shearer. To be honest, I agree with that. For what he's wrote in the Sun newspaper, he said, "I take no pleasure from Sunderland's demise. How can a club of that size with that stadium find themselves in the third tier of English football? Mismanagement on a huge scale from an owner who has long since wandered out." It said everything about the missiles that few people that they even seemed to realise they had gone down after Saturday's home loss to Burton. It is going to be a long haul back, and don't bank on a quick promotion. Every game next season will be like a cup final for their opponents, who will see the Black Cats as a major scallop.
Exactly.
Well,
Exactly what I said.
Well, I think about it, actually, he's put here as well. What we will not be having soon is a Northeast derby. I'll miss the great atmospheres that they are great to play in, but unless they are drawn in a cup, there won't be another one for a while.
Exactly, and you know what? I've got to agree with that. I was kind of slating Alan Shearer at the weekend, winding him up about how he relegated Newcastle as well. It was just with the tweet he put, and people were commenting, and well, fuck off. You relegated Newcastle, go do one. But no. To be fair, yeah, he was a good player of his time. I'll always give credit there, you know. And I suppose any Newcastle fans that are watching this video, that is your club legend right there. That's just said that. So you try to slate us, then you're slating your own club legend. and I don't think you're really going to do that, are you?
To be honest, I'm not sure if this is true, but if I've just seen a post on Facebook,
Mm-hmm.
it's a group I follow. They've just put breaking news on Sky Sports News. Chris Coleman is staying on as Sunderland manager in League One next season.
Okay, I've got the Sky Sports app, so I'll have a look. Then again, it takes 5 years to get something from the website to the bloody app, so I don't know. God, this phone is so slow.
Because if that's true, let me guess Martin Bain has spoke to Ellis Short.
There's got to be some truth to it. If it is true, then you've got to ask yourself the question now: what's he been promised?
Is Short going to sell up now?
Exactly. Not see. Oh, where are we? Hang on, I've got something here. Chris Coleman must be given the opportunity to help Sunderland get back in the Championship according to former player Michael Gray. No, that's not it. Coleman, bear with me, guys. I'm just quickly scan reading just to see if there's anything in this article. Coleman should continue. Yes, okay, Gray. We all understand that. God. Yeah, this is from Michael Gray, by the way. He needs fun to strengthen the squad. If anybody that knows Ellis Short is listening now, show him this video. Okay, skip to 26 minutes, 39 seconds in. Ellis Short, Chris Coleman needs money. You know, the 1.2 billion you've got in your bank, yeah? Some of that spot on, yeah? He wants to stay and fight to get the club into the Championship. Yeah, so, well, even according to this, by the look of it, he's staying. I'm not seeing... No,
To be honest, actually...
All I've got is Coleman wants to stay, that's it.
Yeah, Chris Coleman wants to stay at Sunderland in League One.
Yeah, so that's a good thing. So, shame though, he won't take a pay cut though. Do you hear about that?
Well, to be honest, actually, there's one player that will. Jack Rodwell is taking a pay cut.
Anybody that knows Jack Rodwell that's watching this video, skip to 27 minutes 42 seconds. That's what I say to you, Rodwell.
Take a screenshot and send it to him.
Yeah, that would be brilliant. Jack Rodwell, honest to God. You know, every player that was asked to take a cut took a cut apart from him. Honestly, you know what he is? He's not even a bench warmer. He's a hospital bed warmer. That's what he is. Always bloody injured. So it's I mean, it's going to be a long uphill battle, isn't it, to get back up from League One. Bob?
Yeah, I was just looking to... well, I said to you before we started, you don't mind actually me saying what my friends have said.
Oh, yes, yeah, go on.
My actually friend Alex Turner, but his name's Joe, he said we need it, to be honest. It's heartbreaking, but if that means Short goes away and we get our club running again, we will be back up in no time and fighting in the top half of the table. But that's all down to if.
Yeah, that's true. It's literally everything now relies on Ellis Short, and I think we've all got to come to a realisation that there's going to be a 50-50 split. He is either going to literally leave the club in the lurch and wait for someone to hopefully buy it, or if he can't find a buyer, or he does find a buyer, either or, we'll either get money from the new owners, or Ellis Short will have to put up and shut up. Because you think about it, Paul, if you were a businessman, right, you had a business failing, okay, say Sunderland Football Club for example, yeah, then do you think people are going to want you to invest in their company, or people are going to invest into your companies knowing that one of your business models is failing? Because
Well,
I'm of the opinion they will go nowhere near you, and they wouldn't want your money either.
definitely not.
Yeah, it is. There comes a time where, so to speak, people have to put up and shut up. So, my opinion, if we don't have a new owner by the end of May, or there's nothing that's put down on paper in the meantime, then Ellis Short's going to have to shut up and put up, and effectively get us up, really.
You know what was interesting to me, actually? Richard and Phil said this morning, actually. I don't know if you read, but the Eastleigh chairman has been approached, not by Sunderland, but a consortium, by an investor in a consortium. He's actually interested in actually taking over at Sunderland. And that's not came from anywhere else but the Sunderland Echo.
Interesting. Again, though, and I'm sure everyone will agree, you do have to take these things like a pinch of salt, don't you? Look at it.
To be honest, actually, I've just read there who he is. Stuart Donald. Donald is actually a Whitney-based businessman and a lifelong fan of Oxford United. 3 years ago, he purchased a 10% stake in the club. Oxford has since been taken over in February this year. Donald became chairman and majority shareholder of Eastleigh in February 2012, and he oversaw Eastleigh's promotion from Conference South in 2013 to 2014.
I suppose you've got to ask yourself, though, because with that being obviously way down in the lower leagues, is that somebody, if they've got the financial weight, then fair enough, but if they've got more of a moderate financial weight, is that someone you'd really want to sort of run the club? Because we're at the stage now where, let's face it, clubs are paying Mickey Mouse money prices for players, literally. And it goes, you've just got to bear in mind, obviously, if someone does take over, how are they going to be able to bankroll the club? That's the other thing, because you can't have a small businessman do it, not with the mammoth debt we have.
Two years actually, what I like here as well, it's got Why Sunderland. Donald revealed he'd been approached to be an investor in a consortium looking to take over at Sunderland. Donald says he won't rule out, but admits it is unlikely anything would happen, and it would take an absolutely sensational deal for him to get involved. Donald told BBC Radio Sunderland, "If I'm honest, I'm not that heavily involved. What has basically happened is a common knowledge. The club is for sale, and there are a few consortiums, and whenever there are consortiums, there is generally a shortage of money somewhere along the line. I will always get asked if I'd be an advisor. I always say yes because it gets me knowledge of lots of things that happened at different clubs, and I can take that away. It helps me here. That is the situation at Sunderland. There is a lead investor, and they have asked me would I be involved, and I have said, look, I won't roll it out, but it needs to make sense. Quite where exactly it is, I don't know. I think there is quite a few people interested in Sunderland at this time.
Hopefully one of them's an Arab billionaire. Right, so we're going to go to a couple of as I do every video. Obviously, I'm sure you've seen it. The whole Twitter thing, guys. Here we go. And hopefully I might be able to show you on the camera. I'm not quite sure whether it'll work though. So, at PeterJames73, good old Pete Whalen. A lovely gif here of him for the rest of the summer. Trust Pete to come up with the best ones, honestly. Where are we? Right, you have to bear with me, guys, because my Twitter went into meltdown on Saturday. It's just trying to find things. Where are we? Well, it's a lovely tweet I put out as well about the club. I don't even have to show you because it's on the Twitter. How Del Boy could run the club better. Yes,
I've seen that from you straight away.
Where is it? I've got it here somewhere. I'm just trying to find it because I tweeted it to BBC Newcastle. There you go.
Oh.
I've got to say, Ellis Short should have taken a closer look at the players being brought into the club. Ellis Short is to blame, in my opinion. And he should have. All the bad transfers, he should have surely. It's his money. He's got a cotton on. And then Del Boy could have run the club better. Yeah, honestly. What else? Obviously, another tweet by me. Joel Azoro is actually given longer than 15 minutes. Someone call the doctor. Chris Coleman's ill. Honestly, it's always every game. It's always Azoro 15 minutes. Pete was absolutely gutted, and there was even a tweet as well where Pete, and as Paul just said, Pete didn't have a clue Sunderland were relegated. I think didn't he even get in the house as well, and he didn't realise that they were relegated? Pretty sure he did.
Yeah, because his stepdad told him that Sunderland are relegated.
God.
And, to be honest, I didn't believe it at first because I couldn't believe it, but Sky was the first. Sky was the first to actually report it.
But Sky Sports is their bread and butter, really, isn't it?
I don't know, but I'm thinking there was somebody from Sky at the club. At the match.
There normally is for Championship games, isn't there? Championship and Premiership games. And then it's normally the old telephone call, isn't it, when it comes to League One and League Two? But
I'm saying even Gary Bennett didn't even know we were relegated.
I know, because
until Michael told him.
Everyone seemed to forget that because Bolton have to play Burton. Even I forgot. I'll admit that. You know, even I forgot that. So, but just imagine if they didn't have to, then we wouldn't be relegated, would we? It's gut wrenching. It's truly gut wrenching. Because obviously, even if they draw, Bolton go on to 41 points, 7 points adrift, 6 to play for. Math doesn't go, does it?
Mhm.
So, but I will leave it with this last question for you, Paul. It's quite a tough one as well. Do you think we can bounce back? My thoughts exactly.
Only if we get the right recruitment.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Hopefully some, maybe not all, because some of them might be out overpriced, but hopefully at least even half of the players Chris Coleman wants.
Well, it's in Islo. Coleman he's been scouting for players even before we were officially relegated.
It's going to depend on the money. I'm still keeping an eye out for these financial forecasts as well, by the way. I haven't seen anything yet. I know clubs actually don't have to.
They're actually due out soon, actually.
Yeah, I know they don't have to release them, but they do. A lot of people seem to think that there's certain rules about it that they have to release the financial statements. They don't. They absolutely don't. It's logically it's personal information to that company, so to speak. So there's no law can't get words out. No law requiring them to do so.
I don't know when they're due actually, but I think they'll be soon. Like,
yeah, I mean it's coming to the end of April now. If they are going to release them, it'd be round about now to maybe in the first couple of weeks of May, I reckon. So, cause somebody did put they had until the. Because I looked on Michael's Twitter post, and someone put that apparently the club has until the 22nd or the 23rd to release it. No, they don't. If they wanted to, they could keep it under wraps, chuck it in the safe, throw away the key. You know.
I think Martin Bateman plays in now, so.
I think he will.
That's our surprise with the club statement. There was nothing from the CEO.
Then again, though, if there are offers in the pipework, would it be the right time to release those financial statements? I don't think it would be.
Yeah, no, but what I'm on about is, the statement the club put out that we were relegated.
Yes, for the relegation, yes. Yeah, Martin Bain put nothing out, yeah.
There was nothing from Short. Well, there wouldn't be anyway, he's not with the club. But
Yeah, he doesn't give a tis. He doesn't give a toss, does he?
there was nothing from Martin Bain, which I was surprised.
Maybe later on today. Who knows?
Maybe
Who knows?
in Coleman's press conference.
Oh God, no! Don't! I swear to God, he does not want to hijack Chris Coleman's press conference on Thursday or Friday.
No, but what I'm saying,
Yeah.
maybe the media will ask, possibly this week, because I know. Well, like I said, I think Richard and Phil is going to go to the academy this week
Yeah.
and speak to a player. So maybe they might actually ask Martin Bain this week.
Well, hopefully, fingers crossed.
I'll tweet them.
So, right, guys. Well, I'm going to end the video there. Actually, no, I'm not. There's one more thing I need to talk about quickly, actually. So, Paul, did you see who won the PFA Player of the Year award?
Yes, I did actually.
Who was it, Paul?
God, I can't remember.
Oh, how you call yourself a football fan? No, it was. I mean, it was rather late, and it was just before the awards. I put a tweet out there with a voting poll on there. I only gave it a couple of hours because it was that late in the day. I meant to do it first thing in the morning, but forgot about who should win the PFA Player of the Year. And there was only 3 votes on it, but all 3 people, Mohamed Salah. The guy is he's a goal machine, isn't he? And I've seen a lot of tweets as well. People saying that's not right. Kevin De Bruyne should have won it. No, I mean I've got to disagree because Salah has just continuously worked his backside off every single game. But De Bruyne, pretty much until yesterday, actually, what a game he had yesterday. De Bruyne has dipped off for the last few weeks before that.
Yeah, he does.
And then of course trust that Kevin De Bruyne scores yesterday. I put a tweet out there, I don't know if you saw it. Scores from outside the box. The one weekend I don't put the bet on Kevin De Bruyne scoring a goal from outside the box, and he fucking goes and does it. Can I get any luck?
Who do you think will get Player of the Season for us? I would give it this. Because, to be honest, James Hunter even put it out.
Who would you give it to?
I would give it to Asaro.
Yeah, I could agree. Personally, not many of them are worth even being nominated for it, but I'd say Asaro. Yeah, and well, Paul's going to know this name instantly. If we could choose a worst player of the season, who would it be, Paul?
Camp. Straight away. Camp or Fletcher.
No, I'll put up with Fletcher any day. Yes, I did just say I would put up with Fletcher, even though he's useless. Honest to God. Lee Camp makes Fletcher look like Lionel Messi. And yes, I've just compared Fletcher to Lionel Messi. Where's this video going?
I'm pleased Camp wasn't in goal on Saturday.
Yeah.
I know Steele was in goal, but I thought Steele was alright.
Yeah, he actually had a good game. It's just the same. It was those freak 4 minutes, wasn't it? And apparently, on the radio, Benno was saying there wasn't much he could really do for both the goals.
Sunderland players just standing there,
Yeah.
especially.
And if you're the keeper, you're in between the sticks. And the players are standing there. You're on your own. There's not much you can really do, and you've got to give Steele credit. He could not have done anything with those 2 goals. Not a thing. You just have to hold your hands up. It's as simple as that. It's a bitter pill to swallow because obviously losing to Burton, and then just because the fact, what's the word I'm looking for? Just because there's one minor glitch left, the fact that Bolton have to play Burton. It's that's what kills the most. The fact that it's not in our hands. It wouldn't have been in our hands.
Mm.
But,
To be honest, I was surprised that when the whistle went as well. Fair enough. Normally the players would come over. They actually went straight inside. So did Chris Coleman as well. Coleman didn't actually come to the supporters. He went straight in the tunnel.
oh, let's just hope you ripped them all on your arsehole.
But the thing is, Coleman said that the players actually didn't know we were relegated until he actually told them. So
God.
Coleman actually had to reveal it to the players. I think Coleman knew, but he had to tell the players in the dressing room.
Yeah, it's sad times. I mean, look at it. You take the likes of Leeds and Portsmouth. Things will get better. They will eventually get better, and it's just going to take time. We all knew it was going to be a big ask, not to stay up in the Championship, but to even stabilise in the Championship. That was always going to be a tall order because of, well, the last 5 years they've been horrendous. They have. Well, apart from derbies, of course.
I was just thinking where Case Downey is. He's at Everton because Newcastle's playing Everton tonight.
Oh yeah, Big Sam, eh? Big Sam. Oh God, Big Sam. Could he bring the nightmare to them? No, to be fair, you know what? I'll do it differently because I've got to go get ready in a minute. I'll do it differently. You've got to be fair, right? They had a bit of a slow start to the Premier League season, but Newcastle, when it's mattered, okay, they have actually done a good enough job. Quite frankly, they've done a good enough job to certainly deserve to stay in the Premier League. And of course, again, the $1 million question is Ashley going to put money into the club as well, or is he going to look to sell it? Because Rafa, he can. I don't think they would get Champions League football anytime soon. But I could see Rafa stealing a spot for Europa League if he can get the money and get the right players in. I could even see him doing that, maybe as early as next season.
But the thing is, will he stay?
Sorry?
Will he stay if if Mike Ashley doesn't give Rafa any money?
That's true, because he's already said.
Will Rafa go?
Yeah, because he has stated or dropped hints that if he wasn't to get the money he wanted, that he didn't know what his position would be. He has already dropped hints like that. So yeah, you've got to hold your hands up, and you've got to say, they've had a good season. Middlesbrough, to be honest, I actually hope Middlesbrough can. I haven't really looked at the table yet, but I do hope that they can get through the playoffs and hopefully get themselves back in the Premier League, because it would do the North East the world of good. Because it's certainly needed, especially now where we are. If it was a case of 2 in the Premier League, 1 in the Championship, that's great. That's a win for the North East as a whole, really. Obviously, all 3 is better in the Premier League, but that's what you have to do.
Yeah, that's true.
But right, guys. Okay, so we're gonna have to end the video there, and yeah. So leave your comments below. Let me know what you think. Will we bounce back up again? Do you give a toss about the royal baby? Can't believe that's in a video. Honest to God. Me and my tirade, honestly. So I'll let Paul say goodbye.
See you later, and sadly we've got to look forward to League One.
And I will see you all later. So don't forget, like the video, subscribe to the channel. And it's a case of peace out.